This is an IELTS sample answer. Keep practicing to build confidence. To try a mock test with these questions, watch our mock test video. The link to the PDF document is in the first comment. Want to improve your IELTS writing skills? Check out our new IELTS writing channel. Let's begin by discussing about maps. Do you often use maps?
Yes, I use maps quite often, especially when traveling to new places or exploring different areas. They help me find the fastest routes, avoid traffic, and discover nearby restaurants or landmarks.
Are you good at reading maps?
I think I'm fairly good at it. I can usually figure out directions quickly by following landmarks and street names, but sometimes I get confused when the map is too detailed or poorly marked.
Do you prefer electronic or paper maps?
I prefer electronic maps because they're more convenient and user-friendly. They provide real-time updates, suggest alternative routes, and even show traffic conditions, which makes navigating much easier and more efficient.
How often do you maps on your phone?
I use maps on my phone almost every day, especially for checking traffic, planning my route, or finding new places to visit. It's quick, reliable, and helps me avoid getting lost.
When was the first time when you used a map?
I first used a map when I was about 10 during a family trip. I remember helping my parents navigate to a park using a paper map, which felt quite exciting at the time.
Did you learn to use maps when you were a child?
Yes, I learned basic map reading skills at school. We were taught how to understand symbols, use a compass, and read directions, which was really helpful for outdoor activities and school trips.
That's the end of part 1. Now we are going to move to part 2. In this part, you will have 1 minute to prepare and then speak up to 2 minutes. Describe a time when you helped a family member. You should say when it happened, who you helped, how you helped, and explain how you felt about the experience.
Last spring, I helped my sister Lily when she was having a really tough time. It was her last year of university, and she had a big paper due in a month, but was way behind. To make things worse, she had just broken up with her boyfriend, so she was heartbroken and feeling pretty low. On top of that, she was trying to find a job but wasn't getting any interviews, even though she'd applied to loads of places. She was completely overwhelmed and stressed out, so I knew I had to step in and help. First, I helped her get organized. We sat down and made a plan to manage her studies and job application. I also gave her CV and cover letters a bit of a makeover to make them more polished. Then we did a few mock interviews so she could practice answering questions confidently. Additionally, I cooked balanced meals for her to make sure she was eating well and had the energy to focus. It felt good to see her slowly getting back on track. In the end, it all paid off. She managed to finish her paper on time and got a great mark. Even better, she landed a fantastic job in a nearby city. Seeing her feeling more confident and happier again was such a relief. It felt like everything we worked on had really made a difference. Helping Lily through all that made me realize how important it is to show up for family. It strengthened our relationship, and it also taught me that sometimes a little support and encouragement can go a long way.
That's the end of part 2. Now we are going to move on to part 3. We'll continue discussing the topic of helping others. Do you think people today are more or less willing to help others compared to the past? Why?
I think people today are less willing to help because life's just so busy and stressful. Everyone's caught up with work and personal stuff. But at the same time, technology makes it easier to help, like through crowdfunding or offering advice on social media, which is pretty convenient.
How can schools and parents teach children to be more helpful?
Schools and parents can teach kids to be more helpful by encouraging teamwork and setting a good example. Things like group projects or charity events help kids see the value of working together. Even simple stuff like helping with chores at home or praising kind behavior can make a big difference.
Do you think it is acceptable not to help others?
Sometimes it's understandable not to help, especially if it could put you in a difficult position. Like if helping someone means risking your safety or financial stability, it's okay to step back. But even small things, like giving advice or listening, can still go a long way.
What are some ways communities can encourage people to help each other more?
Communities can organize volunteer events and support groups to bring people together. Things like neighborhood cleanups or tree planting can really help. Communities can also collaborate with local charities or nonprofits to offer volunteer opportunities. Also, sharing stories of individuals and groups who've made a positive impact can inspire others to get involved.
How has technology changed the way people offer and receive help?
Technology has made helping so much easier, like raising funds online or asking for advice. For example, people facing serious illness or financial trouble can seek support through platforms like GoFundMe. Apps like Facebook neighborhood groups also make it simple to connect with others and offer or receive help when needed.
That's the end of the speaking test. Good job.